This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
Half of the teams in the playoffs are gone. Of course, a bunch of people out, a bunch of teams out at the end of the regular season. Bi-district games are in the can. And so now the second round. Before you know it, you always have that goal. Even if you're a school that always plays deep in the playoffs, can you practice during the week of Thanksgiving? Guess when that is? Next week. So teams that survive this week will get a chance to experience that in the next few days. So we will do a couple of things. I'm going to give you the best wins from what I thought, my perspective, a couple of other nuggets about the first week in the playoffs, an unbelievable interception from a player who's committed to play at the University of Utah. And yes, we will check in on Keagan Ash, the running back from Mount Enterprise, with his assault on records. What happened to a couple of young men that were trying to get to the single season record for rushing yards in a year? And then Keagan Ash will actually join us. He'll be a part of our show and featuring that today and him today and the Mount Enterprise Wildcats today. And then we'll have the best games coming up per Jerry Forrest and pigskinprep.com. Garrett Ross is here with me. You see the sponsors, Bubba's 33, great restaurant, a lot of them around Texas, but also here in the Waco area, and Peter's Chevrolet on the Smoaky.com Texas High School Football Podcast. So the best wins that I saw last week, there's a handful of them. The one that jumped out at me was Lake Ridge out of Mansfield beating Euless Trinity 47-38. Now, Trinity has not been quite who they were for a long, long time, but still very good. And yes, every once in a while they have those showdowns with Allen or South Lake Carroll or somebody. But Lake Ridge got a nice win in that one by 9 over at Euless Trinity. Dickinson 51, Atascocita 47 in a great shootout win for Dickinson. Cedar Hill, the only team in 12-6A to win a game against 11-6A, Waxahachie, the only team in 12-6A to beat a team, Cedar Hill, in 11-6A, 28-14. Oakley Goins had 2 field goals, including a school record 52-yarder. Willis in a great win against Westfield, 23-20. Vandergrift, remember they started a little bit shaky this year. They're on a roll. They beat Westlake in a last-second field goal, 16-14. Thought A&M consolidated. Really nice win. Beat Crosby by 7. Athens, with perhaps their best win in the history of the program. Zach Carroll's the head coach. Their first playoff win since 2015. They have not been to the third round since 2010, so they have a chance to do that this week. They beat Gilmer. The Buckeyes finished 3-8, a really staggering record for them after they've had so much great success. Their non-district too, was also very salty. How about Jerry and Hall at Malakoff? They're starting to heat up. Had that win to close out the year against Winsboro, and then beat Liberty Alo 28-13. That's a bi-district game. In Garrison, they had 3 players rush for 100 yards. I believe they had close to 500 or 600 yards rushing, and then, of course, some yards passing, too, and they beat Corrigan Camden 59-21. those were some of the best wins. There are others, but those are the ones that kind of jump out at me initially. Now, of the games, this was after Thursday. By-district games were last Thursday, just like the second round will start Thursday this week. I put this up. This is, I don't remember what time it was. It was pretty, I guess it was either early on Friday morning or sometime late over Thursday night. Here are the winning scores. These are the amount of points scored in games that teams won on Thursday night in by-district. Just look at the numbers. These are the average winning score was 60.9 points. Of all of the final scores, I'm talking throughout the state, all of the final scores in 4A Division I and Division II, they scored at least 48 points to win. And some of them, look at the numbers, 77, 85, 77, 78, 77. It was staggering, the amount of points. And there's always this, all right, is it because the playoffs have become watered down because there's more? Is it because teams are already separated into Division I and Division II? I don't know, but that was a remarkable night for scoring on Thursday alone in Class 4A. Then Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine with this nugget. There were how many? 22 teams that finished in fourth place in their district that made the playoffs that won in the by-district round. That means 22 first-place teams are out. And that all can be set up by one district's really deep, another one might not be as strong. And then there's also some upsets. Like, for example, how about, and I didn't mention them a minute ago, but how about Tyler Beatty and China Spring beating Belleville in the by-district game? That was, I like, what? They had the great win to start the year against Franklin, the 3A power, and then they ended up 3-7, but then beat Belleville in the by-district, a hell of a win for Coach Beatty and the Cougars at China Spring. Now, this is a video of an interception from Keenan Pula. Watch this video. This is like what you see in college or the NFL. Down the field. And if you don't know if you saw that correctly, like an Odell Beckham style pick, here's slow motion. One-handed, and then not only that, he grabs it and turns it around towards his midsection so he doesn't hit, the ground doesn't cause the ball to pop loose. Keenan Pula in a win for Skyridge, for Lone Peak against Skyridge. There's a one-handed, there it is, the freeze frame. Look at the body's almost parallel to the ground. Thanks to Red Pedal Media Video for that. And again, that game at Rice-Eccles Stadium where the University of Utah plays, and he is a Utah commit, and a great, great pick by Keenan Pula, a two-way playmaker with that interception. Now, we have kept up with Keagan Ash and others in their search to break records that are unbreakable. Some players and names of some of the greatest running backs in the history of the state of Texas. And look where now we're at career rushing yards. Keagan Ash is 4. He moved past Trevor Spates at McAllen Memorial with his game against West Hardin, 345 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. He also had a touchdown catch. So Kenneth Hall, he's 1,100 or nearly 1,200 yards away from Kenneth Hall. That's going to be tough. Mount Enterprise is going to start facing some really good teams, including Chilton this week, which is a very good team with what they have with Benny Hewitt. Jonathan Gray, then Traylon Shedd. He's 263 yards away from tying Traylon Shedd for third all-time, depending on what happens this week against Chilton. Now, that was a win against West Hardin. Look at the career points. Keagan Ash, I did not know if he could get to Jonathan Gray, and he still might not. Who knows? It's one, your winner, go home. But he had 5 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, scored 32 points in the win against West Hardin, and he didn't even play that much. You saw we had 11 carries as they blew out West Hardin. He is now 142 points away from tying the all-time record set by Alito's Jonathan Gray for most points scored in a career. Can he get to it? It will be difficult. Mount Enterprise is going to have to keep on winning. But just the fact where he's blown by the names below him and Kenneth Hall, the legendary name, Traylon Shedd, Jared Martin at Salina, and Robert Strait says quite a bit. And it's Salina, of course, with Jared Martin was there in the 90s, Strait in the 80s. Mount Enterprise won 70-14. They now played Chilton in the second round which will be, that could end up being like a 70-60 game. Now, also, remember the onslaught by a handful of players on the all-time single-season rushing yards record in the list. Kenneth Hall, there we are. He's had that record for 72 years. 1953 in 12 games, had 4,045. There have been players that have taken a run at him. But even if you look at Trey Williams and Jonathan Gray and Joseph Sadler, how close they got, they did that in 16 games, 14 games. He did it in 12. But again, all-time single-season rushing yards record. Doesn't matter if you played 10 games or you played 15 or 16. And then Ernie Powers last week at El Paso Franklin, they lost to Midland Legacy, but he had a huge game in that game. He had a 407 yards and lost. His season's over. He is the all-time leading rusher in El Paso City history, but right now, number 5 all-time. He went past Rodney Thomas and also a young man, Christian Villarreal. Remember, we featured him from Ozona. He had a pretty decent game. Not for him. Again, he puts up numbers. All these guys do, but they got knocked out by Anson in the first round of the playoffs. So he finishes at 36-67 in the 11 games. He's done. Powers is done. Now, where is Keagan Ash? He's at 3,208 yards. And John Hebert from Straight Jesuit in Houston, he's at 3,182. So we'll start to see where they are if they win this week. If they win this week, Straight Jesuits playing Houston Lamar and Mount Enterprise playing 10-1 Chilton. I've mentioned that a couple of times, but they still have a lot of work to do just to get into the top 10. But there we have Ernie Powers and Christian Villarreal both end in a great number, a great single season, but do not get where we thought they could get with another game or two where Kenneth Hall's all-time record. All right, when we come back, Keagan Ash, he loves to hunt, he loves to fish. He's a quiet young man, so we will see what we can pull out of him here today. And then also, he's a great football player, but he's also an incredible teammate. You hear so much about him. I talked to his mother. I talked to his father. I heard from the superintendent. His head coach is Scott Ponder and more. Keagan Ash will join us next. This is the Statewide High School Football podcast on 365 Sports.
Go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
Do you have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a G-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is going to the next level this football season during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. Make all the right moves in a new rugged 2025 Ram 1500. 0% APR for 72 months. The season is looking better than ever with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
David Smoak with Mount Enterprise senior and record-breaking running back Keagan Ash, but he also does a lot on defense, kick returns, all of it. You've seen the story. We've given you the stats we just did a minute ago of what Keagan has done with his rushing yards, where he is for the year, where he is for the career, and also scoring points too. And he joins us on the Statewide High School Football Scoreboard Show. Thank you very much for your time. I've heard you're a young man with few words, but let me get you started first of all the names that are listed in the all-time records of Texas high school football, rushing, running backs, great names, some who played in the NFL, Hall of Famers. How many of them do you actually know about? Have you met any of them?
I haven't met any of them. Only ones I know of is Derrick Henry.
Is where?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry from, of course, the All-Star. Now, of course, having a great run in the NFL, too. And, of course, at Alabama broke the all-time national record. Keagan, I know you're a heck of a football player, but everybody I asked, whether it was your mother or your father or the superintendent or Coach Ponder, mentioned that you are focused, you are locked in, you are very much like your own person. Where did all that discipline come from when you were growing up to where you are today?
Since I was a little kid, I was just always to myself, just self-motivated, and then just give all the props to my mom just for keeping my mental health like that. And I was just always just a real quiet kid.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And then all of a sudden you have these I guess this passion for football, and you didn't always play football. You were a basketball player early on when people recognized you, I think, as AAU and youth basketball. When you first picked up a football in your hand, what was that like for you, and what did you think about the game?
I loved it. I love every part of it. The first time I picked up football, probably in elementary school, and it's just from there. Every PE, every recess, we always just play football. Even at birthday parties, everything was football.
You were kind of the ringleader, right? During recess and getting everybody together, you'd bring the balls and get the teams together. What was that like to kind of almost like run a league, even though it was in elementary school?
That was really fun. At times it was hard, but at the end of the day, it was super fun, super competitive.
Are you OCD?
A little bit.
Tell me about when you had cars and trucks when you were a little kid. And like, I have a little bit of that in me too. I don't know if I'm attention deficit and that or what. But if I see a rug that's a little bit out of alignment, I have to go and like move it. Let me know a little bit about that. What are some of the things that you know that you have to have straightened out, or they have to be where they're supposed to be?
It's just I get like a little OCD every now and then. Definitely in my room, I just start randomly get motivated and start picking up everything and then reorganizing all my stuff. I really like organizing stuff at times, especially in my locker.
Do you remember when you were a young boy and you had trucks and cars and all
Yes,
of that? And you can you kind of take me through that of what you would do?
I was just playing in the sand. I mean, I don't really remember too much, but my mom used to tell me stories. I would just sit there and play in the sand with all my cars and trucks, monster trucks and stuff, and play in the mud.
Yeah, that's kind of that who you are, though. You're tough. You're resilient. You've had the knee injury, which you've had to get through. We'll get to that as well. When did you know? Not only did you fall in love with football, like you said, when you used to organize things during recess or whatever around the backyard, when did you know football was going to be it and not basketball?
Oh, it's just the first year playing in low league, or after the first year, I was in too good, and then the second year came around, and we were real good, and I just fell in love with it since then.
Do you understand at all? Does it register with you what you've done with the statistics you've had so far through the game last week against West Hardin?
No, sir, not really.
What? Yeah.
I'm just out there just trying to win.
So do you keep up with your own numbers? Or I've been putting them up, for a long time. I've got Smoaky.com. Your mom told me that she gets on it quite a bit, and a lot of high school fans, especially in East Texas, do that. When did you realize that you were having numbers and stats that were different, that put you in a different type, level of high school football history?
Probably the very first post that you sent, or the one that I seen. I was like, dang, that's crazy. I didn't know how many yards.
You had to go through adversity a year ago with the knee injury. And I can't even imagine, for someone who loves the game and loves to compete the way you do, what was that like? You could not play for a while.
It was definitely a good thing. I definitely, you get to look at it as a bad thing or a good thing. I take it as a good thing, as I needed to be more supportive of my teammates, and it made everybody step up and play better. So we went 30 rounds deep, and I think it was overall a benefit to the team.
Do you realize, did you ever or you can explain that when you have something you love so much and then you don't have it, you lose it, although it wasn't long term, it was still for a little bit. Did it make you even love the game even more because you missed it? What was that feeling like?
Yes, sir. It definitely made me more motivated because I just had to work hard once I got back. And yeah, pretty much.
When you were out, you continued to do your own rehab in some ways, and physical therapy and your own stretching and all that, along with whatever you did when you were at the school. How did you come about making up your own ways of making sure that you stayed flexible and you did not push your knee too much, but that you were going to be okay when you came back? What was that like? You're by yourself and trying to stay focused.
It was hard at first, but just watched a lot of YouTube videos and just listening to my coaches and what to do at home.
And when you came back, it was with an explosion. You mentioned the run you guys made last year in the playoffs. Chilton's really good. They're 10-1. They have a nice history too. What do you see with them on film?
I see physical, big. It's definitely going to be a really good game, but I know my teammates, and we can definitely pull through.
I know you love football, but I want to know about your hunting and fishing. And you have your own boat, I was told.
Yes, sir.
When you go hunting with your father, Kevin, or you go with your friends, wherever it is, take me through your favorite hunting story of all time.
Favorite hunting story? Probably, there's a lot of stories. Probably when back at South Texas, we used to have this old deer lease. It was always real fun going out there. It's just really peaceful. And I find more peace in just going out in the woods and just we killed no telling how many pigs and deer. But the old deer lease, my favorite.
Have you ever had a hog charge you?
Yes, sir. Actually, this past weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep. It sounded like a doe snorting. And I thought it was a doe, and then I looked. It was like 10 feet in front of me. I missed every shot, though. But it's all right.
Who would have had you just said, okay, let's go. I mean, the hogs are mean and nasty. They stink. They're powerful. Would you still be able to handle that hog if you had headed with that hog?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I might have tore up a little bit, but I was going to be all right.
So you missed all the shots at him, though?
Yes, sir, unfortunately.
I'll never forget this. When I lived in Lufkin, Nacogdoches, which is not that far from where you are, but there was a guy that was a game warden. He had a huge, he would patrol this massive lease, and he took us out on this, I guess it was a gator. And he always said, hey, man, you just make sure they come charging out of the trees and there'll be hogs. And we had a gun. I don't know. I'll tell you about a shotgun story of mine. And all of a sudden, this hog came flying out of the side of this brush or whatever. And I mean, it's unbelievable. Do you run like a hog? If you were to describe your running style, how would you describe it?
Yeah, very aggressive, but I try to be shifty because I know that's what colleges want. But at times I am just lowering my head at first when there ain't no holes.
How old were you? Do you remember when you first took your first shot with a shotgun?
Probably like 5 or 6. I used to aim with my left eye or with my right eye. My dad used to always get mad and then put like some tape on my eye, so I used the right one.
Can I share something with you that I'm not a hunter, but I used to love going out on the leases out in West Texas with friends of ours. And we'd go out there and they were the ones that would get in the deer lease. And I would too, but I couldn't shut up. That's why I do a talk show. But I'll never forget, my friend gave me a shotgun to try to knock a can off of a wooden stump. You know what I did wrong, don't you? I'm going to tell you, what did I do wrong that people that don't understand shotguns or shot them before, what did I do wrong?
Probably put your face too close to the barrel.
Damn sure I did. Right here, and then bam, and I hit the can, and all of a sudden my friend looked at me, and I felt like that trickle coming down my face, and I got the shotgun scar. How many people have a shotgun scar? Have a shotgun scar?
I think my dad has one on his eyebrow. It was from a rifle, and he has it like around his eyebrow. I think either my dad or one of his brothers do.
Man, it was, and I mean, I had to have stitches, and it was all, they had to go to I had to go to the hospital that moment. Everyone else was out hunting, and here I am going to the hospital. Kaegan, when you are by yourself and you're just contemplating, what are you thinking about? What is it? Is it sports? Is it life? Is it what?
Probably just sports, and then I think a lot about the Lord and like His Word and like the questions I have sometimes. But most of the time, just if I'm not doing something, I'm probably sleeping.
Well, you got to rest. You got all that wear and tear on your body, and your teammates doing everything they can to help you gain more and more yards. So you have Bible study with your girlfriend. How often have you done that? And what's that like? That peace and quiet with her?
It's everything. It definitely. If I'm having a bad day, it definitely always makes my day better. Just that peace and quiet, and just being able to get in the Word.
What's her name?
Taylor.
Taylor, is that part of your everyday routine, or whenever you do have that opportunity?
Yes, sir. Or if I can't do it with her, I usually always do something by myself.
So football, hunting, fishing. Do you like fishing for gar? What do you like fishing? That's a nasty fish. How did you get involved with that?
Me and my buddy Aiden, we just fell in love with it. Wanted to like catch a big 8-foot gar. We were watching YouTube, like these popular YouTubers, and we went about like 10 times, like 10 fishing trips. Didn't catch a single thing, or we caught some little ones, but nothing huge. And this, I don't know. It's not all about catching gar. We were just out there having a good time, having fun. But then here lately, we've been catching some huge gar, some 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4".
What do you catch them with?
Just some old carp, like cut up carp.
You don't eat gar, do you?
No, sir.
No, that's like worse than a catfish. Catfish, you can fillet it and you could get it into seasoning, whatever. So you just catch it for fun. Then it's just sport for you, which is hunting and fishing in itself. When you got the gar, who pulled it out of the water? And when you saw how long it was, what was the reaction?
It was crazy. Our first one, it wasn't that big, but we were super excited because it was way bigger than anything else we caught. And then we just we put a rope around his head and then drug it to the land, and then we picked it up. We both picked it up.
A big dude. How heavy was it?
It was pushing 100. Or one of the big ones that we caught, it was pushing 100. But the first one we caught, that was pretty good. It was maybe 40 pounds.
What is it about you shoot hogs and you catch gar, and both of them are mean and nasty and angry, and it's kind of like competitive for you?
Competitive is just compete with myself sometimes. If I me missing that pig, I blame it on the gun sometimes, but it's probably just me.
Yeah, what do they say? It's not the arrow or the bow, it's the Indian or the person with it. You mentioned YouTube a lot. You mentioned YouTube when it comes to working out and maybe some physical therapy, YouTube when catching gar and other things, and yet you own your own business. What is that business, and how did you get into the business of detailing cars and using and cleaning roofs off houses and more? How did that start?
Actually started in December. It was so cold. My first car was I made $20, $40 on it. And it was just watching good TikTok videos. I was like, oh, bet I want to get into this. So I started just detailing, and my dad helped me out. We basically already had all the stuff. I just had to buy some chemicals and stuff and then make a Facebook profile and get my name out there.
And you got a lot of business, right?
Yes, sir.
So what have you done? And again, you also even have a friend or two that might help you out along the way, but you're making money. You're making good money on the side along with what you do as a high school student athlete. Are you saving enough of it?
Yes, sir. I'll try to save most of it. I have a good amount. I invest back into my business. I have a good amount just sitting in the safe at my house.
How many times have you taken a roll of 20s or whatever it is, or whatever other cash you've made in this business, stuck it in little places that you thought nobody would ever find?
Well, I used to do that when I was younger. I don't do it no more. But definitely when I was a little kid, I used to just try to hide my money somewhere.
Who found it?
Sometimes I forgot about it, so sometimes it's me finding it.
You forgot about when you were hiding money? Well, that's a good way to save it.
Yeah.
Your mom told me that she would start cleaning or whatever, and then this big box or whatever you would put it in, and there would be cash or whatever. And then obviously hey, listen, I wish if you could live life all over again, there's a couple of things you want to learn about life. There's a lot of things about decisions, but the other one is saving money a lot better than I did. Texas Tech, you committed to them during the summer. They are having a spectacular year. Joey McGuire is a good friend of our YouTube show. We knew him when he was at Baylor, knew him when he was at high school at Cedar Hill, and now, of course, Tech is in the top 5 in the country. Why Tech? What was the recruitment like? Who recruited you, and what was the decision like when you made it?
Why Tech? Because just the atmosphere, and then Joey McGuire. I love that guy. He's amazing. He's always pumped up, excited to see you wherever you are, no matter what day it is. He's just always excited. And then who recruited me was that it was actually the tight ends coach, the assistant running backs coach. He came down to the school and was talking to me. And then the defensive coordinator called me and was like, I want you to come up to this camp, and then we may give you an offer if you or like no, like wanted to give me an offer, but they wanted to see me in person first. And then if I showed out, then I was gonna get that offer. And I went down there and then committed on the spot.
Was that Sheil Wood, the defensive coordinator? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When you watch them play, if you get a chance to do that, what do you watch? What do you man, they're beating people up. Just had another big win, blew out UCF the week before that. Unbelievable experience with the game day people there for ESPN, and they hammered BYU. Describe what you see right now with Texas Tech football.
I see a lot of defensive games. Not only their offense is good too, it's consistent, especially in the BYU game. Every time they got the ball, I feel like they were scoring and just really aggressive on defense.
They're really playing well, and they're adding more and more talent. Of course, with you among the others that are a part of the class. This is Keagan Ash. He's a running back and a senior at Mount Enterprise. What do you rather do if you had to pick one or the other? You mentioned Sheil Wood wants you to look at what they can do on defense, but I think with your mentality, do you like enjoying tackling somebody as much as you do running the football and breaking a long run? Which side of the football fits you the best?
I love them both, but I'd rather be running the ball if I had to choose one. But I'm more than happy playing defense as well.
So 220 tackles, 33 behind the line of scrimmage, 12 sacks, 2 interceptions, 4 fumble recoveries, 9 caused fumbles, a kick return, an interception return, a fumble return for a touchdown, 158 touchdowns in your career, and a lot of it, of course, running the football and what you do. What is it like your routine the afternoon of a game when you're about to play Chilton or anybody? Take me through your day and leading up to a game and your mentality getting ready for it.
The whole day, or actually it starts on Thursday. Really, it starts on Monday, but I really lock in on Thursday. Dream me a PE like before or after school, and then Friday, and try to go bed early, get some good rest, and then drink another PE light on Friday before the game. And throughout my whole day, I'm just trying to stay locked in and not listen to none of the noise or the other people who are not locked in, just stay locked in. And then they're going to follow by example. And then when I get in the locker room, usually take me a little nap, and then start getting dressed, have Coach P tape my ankles, and then I drink right before the game, I drink half an energy drink, and then we're just locked in from there.
What energy drink is it?
C4.
C4. I'm going to bring this up. And again, Keagan, we appreciate your time. Just a couple more questions. You talked about your diet, your exercise, your fitness, and how you relax your body. Take a power. I don't think there's anything better than a mid-afternoon power nap, especially for a guy my age, but even for someone like you, a senior in high school. When you were in, I believe, elementary school, and your mother would make you your lunch pail. I don't know if it was a lunch pail, whatever it was, and she made you sandwiches. How many times did she get it right, the exact number of slices of turkey you wanted on your sandwich, and you had to tell her that night, no, I just want 3?
Usually she didn't get it right, but most of the time she.
Did you have any special lunch pail?
Any special what?
Did you have a like, I'm going way back. Did you have a lunch pail or just a brown paper bag?
Lunch pail.
What was on it?
The lunch kit, it was probably just, I think it was a Nike black, just normal Nike black bag.
All right, one more thing. This is from your superintendent, Chance Mays. I would love to be able to add a funny story, but the truth about Keagan Ash, he's very unique in football. Very same things that make him unique as a young man. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Keagan is humility. For a young man who has accomplished incredible athletic feats, he is remarkably humble. To be honest, one could even expect a little bit of arrogance or brashness from someone in his position, but that is not what you get from Keagan. He's a fine young Christian man who puts God first, lets his actions speak for themselves, not his mouth. You mentioned your mother. I mentioned Kevin, your father, as well. When was do you ever remember a time where you were a little bit cocky at all?
Maybe back in elementary school, but I always realized that no one, like especially my friends around me, they didn't like respect that or Like, it wasn't good energy at all. And I kind of had to, like, get out of that.
Last thing. What's it like on Mount Enterprise's campus right now? What's it like with the businesses? Do they have the windows painted and with the shoe polish or whatever else? What's it like right now as you guys are trying to make this deep run in the playoffs?
It's crazy. The whole school's all got posters and stuff everywhere. Everybody's super supportive. The town's super supportive. Every time I walk into like a store or something, they always ask me about the game, like who we playing, when's the game, all that good stuff.
Well, I appreciate your time, young man. You do all your talking on the football field, and your teammates, your school, the campus, administrators, faculty, coaches, they love you. And it's been fun watching you continue on. And good luck with Chilton and possibly working towards some of the most amazing records in Texas high school football history. We appreciate your time and good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Keagan Ash. Oh, how many times growing up did people mispronounce your first name?
All the time.
All the time. What was it, Keagan? Keagan?
It's Kaegan.
I know it's Keagan, but how many did they call you Keagan forever?
Yes,
yeah.
Sir.
Did you find? Huh?
I just ignored it. I didn't really care or like it.
Well, thank you for your time, Keagan Ash, running back, Mount Enterprise, making a tremendous move towards the all-time records in Texas high school football history. Thanks to Scott Ponder, the head coach at Mount Enterprise, and also Superintendent Chance Mays, Kevin, his father, and also his mother as well, Brittany. I'm David Smoak, back with more, the best games of the week in high school football next.
My go-to guy. Can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
Do you have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a G-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Peters Ram in Longview is going to the next level this football season during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. Make all the right moves in a new rugged 2025 Ram 1500. 0% APR for 72 months. The season is looking better than ever with the largest selection of new Ram trucks at Peters Ram during the Wrap Up the Year sales event. Online at peterscars.com.
At Sturdy Steel, we build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide, we're proud of our reputation for dependable, high-quality work and strong client relationships that stand the test of time. From concept to installation, our team of skilled drafters, welders, and installers takes pride in delivering seating solutions designed to last. With a focus on dependability, transparency, and service, we are here to make the unique needs of architects, contractors, schools, and venues across the country. We ensure every project is seamless, sturdy, and ready for generations of fans to enjoy. That's Sturdy Steel. This is David Smoak's Statewide Texas High School Football Podcast on 365 Sports and powered by Smoaky.com and sponsored by Peter Chevrolet in Longview, an innovative third-generation family dealership dedicated to ethics, integrity, and the community, while creating friendly, intelligent, and transparent environment to assist with any automotive need, large or small.
McNair in the gun with under 2 minutes left, down 44-0, trying to get a score. English right side, and he will score. Touchdown, the senior, Raul English from 2 yards out.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. We are an insurance provider built by Texans for Texans. We've been protecting families in our great state since 1952. Sturdy Steel. We build more than grandstands and press boxes. We build the spaces where communities come together. Based in Texas and serving communities nationwide. Batteries Plus. We have the person who can fix what you need with expert knowledge on batteries and have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, with locations throughout the Southwest, serving up tasty food since 1989, including off I-35 in Waco. Next in line, Marco's Pizza, the fastest growing pizza brand in America. Marco's Pizza, Marcos.com. Pizza lovers get it with 5 locations in the Waco area. Bird Culchin Ford on the Loop and Highway 6 in Waco. And Waco's trusted Ford dealer since 1936. And customers know they can expect us to be fair, honest, affordable, and always committed to the tradition of quality service.
It is week number 12, actually 13 of the high school football season. We went back over the best wins and some of the statistical, the historical part of what's going on in the state of Texas. Keagan Ash, of course, joined us from Mount Enterprise and what he's done. But here are the games for this week. We wrap up every show with the games. Jerry Forrest at Pigskin Prep, he ranks every single high school football program. It could be a 6-man team that's not even attached to anything. It could be the biggest school in Texas, Allen, of course, in Class 6A. Here are the best games according to Jerry Forrest. The number on the far right, all the way to the right, the blue number, is the combination of teams who are ranked. For example, you see Liberty Christian is a second-ranked team that's in 11-man taps against 3 Plano Prestonwood. That's 5. The lower the number, the bigger the game, based on the index. Then on the left-hand side, you'll see the black numbers, not just the ones 1 through 20, whatever, but the black numbers, and that is how much that team is favored to win. He has an unbelievable system. It's not 100% flawless, but it is very, very good. And so we have those games. For example, I mentioned Liberty Christian, the defending champions against Plano Prestonwood. Their records 5-4, very deceiving. Alvarado, we featured them last year. They kind of just all of a sudden jumped up and had a great run last year. They beat Sulphur Springs in the 3rd round last year. They play them in the 2nd round. This year, they won last year 42-39. Peaster and Shallowater. Shallowater won by 20 a year ago. Peaster is favored, a slight favorite this year. Frankston, Paul Gould, the Indians with a great run. And they had Bo Donnell ran for 300 yards last week. Very, very powerful team. De Leon is who they play. Frankston's a 7-point pick. Yoakum, 9-2. They played Fairfield last year in the playoffs and won 56-24. They're favored by a couple of points. Fairfield with Cole Collins, the quarterback, and Finn Smith, the wide receiver. They are scoring a ton of points. Galena Park North Shore and Ridge Point. This is going to be a great football game in 6A. It's a pick'em. North Shore last year won 44-28. La Vega, Don Hyde, and the Pirates, 9-point favorites to win against Silsbee, who's 8-3. La Vega last year beat Silsbee by 28 in the 3rd round. Then Panther Creek, Springtown, the Porcupines. I just always like to say that. Fort Bend, Crawford, and Lindale. Polk 10-1, and East Bernard. Polk beat East Bernard last year 15-13. DeSoto and Longview, they're playing at Waco ISD. The Eagles and Claude Mathis, the Lobos and John King. And we know the story there with John, what he went through earlier this year with the throat and mouth cancer. Lobos defense, they can score. Johnny Hamilton, their quarterback, and Mason Washington had a 300-yard rushing game or 285 last week in the win against Rowlett. But their defense, which is usually plays so frenetic and so, they are like fire ants, and they play fearless, but they've given up a lot of points. In DeSoto last year, beat them and put up a lot of points against them, 50-14 in a quarterfinal round game last year. Also, other games, you have West Orange, Stark, and Robinson. Robinson with Kevin Brown, first-year head coach. They have Bryce McCurdy, blue-chip quarterback. Evan Moreno's a heck of a running back. That could be a shootout there. West Orange Stark used to be the great defensive teams, but they could put some points up too. Troop at 11-0 against Hooks. Sam Wells has got a really good team at Troop. Mount Enterprise, 11-0. And Chilton, 10-1. Great football game. You can see that's one of the highest-rated games this week too. Denton Ryan and Abilene. Abilene put up 80 points last week. Then you have Dangerfield, 8-3. The record's deceiving. The Tigers, Davin Nelson, a really good team. Isaiah Parker, their quarterback, is putting up record numbers, and they've had some great quarterbacks before. Dangerfield is a 6-point pick against ARP in that game. And then Groover, 9-2 and 9-2 Wink in a game that's a 1-point pick for Groover. And those are the best, most, I guess, highest index teams that we picked out to highlight today on week number 13, the second week of the high school football playoffs. One of the game that was not listed, Greg Tepper from Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine also had this one. Longtime Hall of Fame Katy football coach Gary Joseph will play Houston Memorial in the playoffs this week. Joseph's quarterback at Katy, 2009 to 2011, who followed Andy Dalton, is the coach at Memorial, Bruce Hack. And that is an interesting nugget in Class 6A. So thank you again for Garrett Ross and your time, for our great sponsors. Thanks to all of you who send in some nuggets. DM me on Twitter or email me to give me a couple of notes about what you'd like to see, or maybe some cool stories as well. And thanks to Mount Enterprise running back Keagan Ash and Mount Enterprise football coach Scott Ponder for allowing us to have time with him today. This is every Wednesday about 2 o'clock or so. We release the show. We record it. We piece it together. Garrett does. And then we put it up on 365 Sports on YouTube. And it's down the left-hand side. You can see where it says Smoky High School Football. And there's the podcast. I'm David Smoak for Garrett Ross. And for all of you who watch us, thank you for your time. Week 13 of the high school football season. We'll see you next week.